What if Penticton became the street performer busking capital of Canada and maybe even North America, and used it to pull tourists straight into our dead zones, including downtown? I'm not talking just one festival, not just one concert. I'm talking about a system that creates life every single weekend for 3 seasons. Hey guys, my name is Jordan West, former BC ambulance paramedic turned business builder. I've started a bunch of businesses, a bunch of agencies, software, restaurants. I live in Penticton, and I think it is the best city in the world, but I am obsessed with making it better. Let's go. Guys, just a quick why. I have 4 kids, and if we're being honest, if nothing changes in Penticton, I do not see enough opportunity for them here to build their future and stay. We need more great jobs, but we also need more businesses and entrepreneurial opportunity so that people can actually build a life here. I am making these videos to help make Penticton and the Southern Okanagan a place that our kids can actually choose. All right, guys. Let's get into it. Today, we are getting specific. I am going to show you why street performers are one of the cheapest tourism levers that the city can have, how Penticton can become the street performer busking capital of Canada, how this targets dead zones like Nanaimo Square, how it unlocks food trucks and street vendors, and exactly which level of government controls this. Guys, cities don't feel alive just because of buildings. They feel alive because of people staying longer than planned. And street performers do 3 things at once. They slow people down, number 1. Number 2, they create reasons to linger. And number 3, they pull people from one area to another. This is why places like Dublin, Melbourne, and London have street performers by design, not by accident. So what? Right? Street performers are not decoration. They're the infrastructure of vibrancy. But if you don't engineer it, it becomes random, noisy, or annoying, and cities just shut it down because they don't really understand how this all works together. All right, let's talk about this here. Penticton already has tourists. We just don't move them around, right? So think about this. The beach is packed. Downtown has pockets of life, but not a lot of them, if we're being totally honest. And in between, there are gaps. There's dead zones. There's corners that people just rush through. This isn't a marketing problem. It's a movement problem. So here's my proposal. I think that we should become the street performing busking capital of Canada, right? We lean fully into this identity. Penticton becomes this weird artistic street alive city where performers are part of the charm. And if I'm being totally honest, guys, there are so many artists in Penticton. It's wild. So many incredible musicians just like sitting around Penticton, not exactly sure how to make a living. And I have this like big master plan. I don't know if I'm going to get into all of it today, but like I've already vibe coded a whole app that could actually facilitate this. Essentially think of like the Uber of busking, where buskers can meet with the city, that can meet with wineries and restaurants and all of that so that we can create this vibrant city that I really think that we could become and continues to keep Penticton. I'm not just talking about musicians, right? But musicians are part of that. I'm talking about like acrobats, comedy acts, dancers, living statues, chalk artists, street theater, cultural performers, magicians, all of them in Penticton, right? I think it's a very interesting idea. Let's talk about engineering the flow, because I think that this is the actual lever. We design a street performer corridor. We start at the beachfront, lakeshore, right? And then we pull all along the walking routes, and then we have select anchor nodes where we want people to go so that people can actually understand, oh my gosh, this whole busking route, I could spend an entire day, I could spend an entire weekend or week in Penticton and not see all of the different acts that are at some of these different spots, right? And then you finish somewhere on Main Street, patio, restaurants. This is the really cool thing, right? Performers don't just choose random spots. The city actually assigns where the pitches are going to be based on different attributes of the artist, and then they'll actually move around throughout the day. Why? Because we want to heal some of these dead zones, not just reinforce all of the busy ones. The busy ones are going to continue to be busy. What we're trying to do is move people around the city and actually see parts of the city. Let's think about Nanaimo Square, right? who here, hands up if you avoid Nanaimo Square? You can throw that down in the comments. This is the kind of place that this system is built for. You don't fix Nanaimo Square with just pulling all of the homeless people out of it, right? Sure, that's one way. They're just going to be back. What you do instead is you fix it by scheduling life around it. You create reasons to stop there. You make it a known performance node. And suddenly, downtown is back, right? It's back, baby. We're talking about circle shows, rotating performers, food trucks nearby, which, of course, there's Jeffers Fries right over there. Once people expect something to be happening here, it stops feeling like a dead corner. And suddenly, we start revitalizing things by raising up the bar of the city, not just, going down, right? I don't exactly know what I'm trying to say. But let's talk about food trucks and street vendors. This is the hidden upside. And here's the underrated win. Street performers create dwell time. Dwell time creates food and drink demand. That unlocks more food trucks, more ice cream carts, more pop-up vendors, more local entrepreneurs testing ideas. So instead of food trucks competing for one park or festival, they follow the busking route, right? This is how you create a distributed economic opportunity without massive infrastructure spending. To be honest, I don't think that there's very much spending at all besides getting this app up and running, which is something, again, that I will gladly take on that project. So who actually controls this? This is all the city. Busking permits and rules. We got to make it easy, city. You just have to make this incredibly simple. And I think that this is where technology and AI and software all come together to make this incredibly simple. We need to have locations, right? This is where the city comes in. We need to have sidewalk usage. We need public space activation. We need food truck permissions, all within this one system. And we need noise bylaws to also come together to make this happen, right? This is a city lever. So here's the real question. Does council want to engineer vibrancy or just hope that it happens? In my mind right now, council, if I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't know. You guys can DM me later and tell me that I suck, but I just want to let you guys know. I think that this is a great idea and in a cheap way that we can do this. So here's the pilot plan. This is really simple. Stop debating things forever. Just pilot it, right? And this is why business people need to be in charge of a lot of things, because that's what we do. We just do it. By the way, that is not some subtle way of saying that I want to be in charge. Not at all. I'll be working in the background. I am not going to be running for anything, just so everybody knows. No mayor, no council, none of that sort of stuff. My job is business and creating opportunity and wealth for everyone around here and inspiring us for something better, Penticton. We can be better. We can be better. So here's the pilot. 2 summer weekends, 8 to 10 designated pitch areas, 3 big anchor nodes. I also think, and this didn't make it into my script, but here's another thing too, is I think that we could actually pay for some big performers to draw them from Vancouver. So some well-known performers that could come and actually play some corners, which could be super, super cool to draw people in from all of the surrounding areas, including Vancouver, right? And I think it's a really great way. So send this to Tourism Penticton, make sure that they understand how incredible this could be to actually draw people in. So again, 3 anchor nodes, rotating performers. I think that's a really cool idea of getting them for, let's say, 1 to 2 hours in one area and then going to another area and then going to another area. The other thing that I didn't talk about in the script is, guys, this actually creates jobs. Think about for all of these artists. This creates incredible jobs for them and puts them on the map continually. Now, guys, I understand we already have some busking, but what I'm talking about is not like some busking. A lot of cities have some busking. Yes, we have busking at the farmers market. Cool. What I'm talking about is building something that is newsworthy, and that is how you get on the map. That's how you get more tourists in. That's how you get news coverage from around places. You don't get it by just being blah and doing the same old, same old. That's not what we need to do in Penticton, guys. What we need to do is put ourselves on the map and make ourselves known for something. I had a conversation with somebody recently, and they talked about tourism Penticton. And guys, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to rag on you. It's just I'm a marketer. I work with like some of the biggest brands in the world. I'm constantly thinking of new marketing ideas. And so I understand if you didn't get this, that's okay. Here's your free consulting for the day. What we're talking about when we're talking about tourism Penticton is the same old thing that you can get anywhere in BC. Mountain biking? Cool. Lakes? Cool. I don't know if you guys know, that's everywhere in BC, right? Wineries? Cool. That's all up and down the Okanagan. I mean, that's awesome. Like, it's great to be known for that sort of stuff, but what we need to be known for something specific. And this is something I think that we could potentially be known for. Again, it's not going to cost us much to try it. We should measure foot traffic. We should measure business feedback. We should measure complaints or lack thereof. We should also measure how happy people are, because imagine being able to walk from your place downtown and be like, who am I going to see today? Oh my gosh, there's this incredible mentalist that's out there, like, doing all these crazy tricks. It also allows for, and this is a bigger rant. You guys can turn off the video now. But no, I'm just kidding. Don't. This is actually a very interesting idea. With the dawn of AI, there are going to be a lot of jobs lost, and I have zero doubt about this. I am an AI optimist in every single way, but here is the problem. In the world of AI, we are going to lose a lot of jobs. But alongside of that, there's going to be all of these new jobs that emerge. And artists, I believe, are going to have their time. And we need to figure out how we pay and monetize artists in the right way. Musicians, right? How do we do that in this next world where I really, truly believe that we are going to have more time on our hands than ever? I really do believe that we're going to have an abundant, wealthy society in this world of AI. And to get there, though, we need to figure out, how do we encourage arts without just government funding? As soon as people start to say, like, oh, well, let's just fund it by the government. No, that has never worked. It has never worked for the government to step in. What works is when we create systems that actually help people make money, right? Capitalism has always worked, and I believe that it always will in different sorts of ways. You guys can tell me I'm wrong down in the comments. That's totally fine. We can argue about it there. We can go for a coffee and argue about it if I have time. Again, if I've not gotten back to you on coffee, it's just because I am running multiple businesses and do not have the time, but I would love to. Anyway, big rant. All to say that I believe that this is a really good idea. Council, why would we not do this? Tell me why we wouldn't do this. Mayor, why wouldn't we do this? Let's test it. Let's do it. Economic development, let's do it. I'm in touch with all of you guys, so let's talk. Let's do it. Have a great day, guys. Bye.